All right, we got our sawmill off the truck. It's been a few weeks. We are now ready to assemble it, and we're going to bring you along and let you watch us. Okay, we got our saw head still on the porch. We've brought our rail and track system out here. We had these old concrete pads stacked up. I figured this is going to be a great thing that we can do our sawmill on. Now, if we were going to run a lot of production on this sawmill, we would probably spend the money and time to pour a slab. But since we're only planning on doing a few logs a year, I think that we can make this get by with these concrete pads. At least we're going to give it a try right now and see how it does. We've unpackaged the one box that has the entire rail system in it. And I like that whenever it came packaged, all the rail system was in one box. The bunks, the rails, the nuts, the bolts, the log dogs, all that was in there. And even all the bolts that it's going to take to put the system together are in boxes. So everything came very well organized. The manual for all you guys at home has very detailed pictures of how all this stuff goes together. And there's only just a few instructions on each page. I really love how that's broken down. One of the worst things in the world is getting something, open up the instructions on how to assemble, and it's micro words, it's very blurred, and it's hectic. That's why guys throw the instructions out, but not with Woodland Mills. You can tell this was engineered with the guy in mind. So we're going to go ahead and it was recommended that you get your rail system off the ground at least 4 inches so that you can get under there and fasten all your bolts. We've got it sitting on bricks, on sticks, so the sticks aren't scratching our metal this quick into the game. That's going to give us 4 inches of clearance to get under there and start tightening it down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start getting some stuff laid out, and we're going to bring you back and bring you along. All right, before we move on to leveling, we've got some lessons learned that we learned really quick. Reading the book, it's imperative that you measure from outside track to outside track, 26 inches. Start at one end and then work your way inward. So one end, work your way in. Snug it, don't tighten it. And then you measure from corner to corner and make sure that your rails don't need to be shifted long way. That'll square up the rails. Once you get 26 inches exactly outside to outside between the bunks, and then you get corner to corner diagonal, then you lock everything down. We learned that. Now it helps that we're on pretty level ground here. I've got 3 levels. I got one placed on this set of bunks and then one on this set of bunks. And then I took my little level to measure across each bunk. It happens to be we're pretty close to level. We've got to do some minor adjustments. So on this bunk, we're a little tall on this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower this nut that's supporting it. Take those bricks out of there so we can get a true. All right, so now all of a sudden we're low. So let me raise the bunk up, loosen that top nut. Yes, thank you. I should probably just go ahead and take all those bricks out, huh? All right, we got our mill together. We did an initial start on it and it cranked up on the first pull after I put gas and oil in it. After we give it a few minutes to warm up per the instructions, when I went to give it throttle, the idle never went up. So I immediately went on the Facebook group for Woodland's Mills, and there were a couple people that said, hey, check the governor spring, but you got to pull the gas tank off to check the governor spring. And a couple people posted pictures, and I pulled the gas tank off, and you see right here there's a little spring with 2 green marks on it, with that little spring right there. That spring wasn't there. So the next morning during business hours, I contacted Woodland's Mill, sent them a message. They immediately responded back and they said, hey, check this. I came out here, checked it. I was like, yeah, the spring's missing. And they put a spring in the mail, and I got it 2 days later, all the way from Ontario. So A+ customer service, and I don't blame this spring incident on Woodland Mills. I blame it on Kohler, because it seems like a lot of Kohler engines are going out from the factory without those springs on it, because it was a common issue that had been talked about in the forums. All right, so we got the spring installed, and we can start it up.
Did you put the nuts on it?
No, I'm gonna put the nuts on it real quick. So let me pause. All right, so we got the gas tank back on. We're getting ready to do our first cut. Now this is a sweet gum tree that was from over my mother's property. Whenever I was a kid, I had nailed a basketball goal to this tree. Don't freak out. I didn't take the section of the tree that was at risk for nails. This is higher up where the limbs were. So just to make sure that we got out of any kind of metal and we're not cutting through metal. Let's go ahead and give it a whirl. And it's been sitting on ground probably 6 or 7 months, so we'll see what the inside of this thing looks like. Look at that beautiful wood. Look at all those colors. Got some spalting in there. Got some pinks, browns, reds. There's all kinds of colors in this wood. I never knew that sweet gum was a serious wood as far as beauty. I always thought it was just a trash wood. We threw this log up here thinking we'll play around with this one, but that's a good looking piece of wood. We've got 2-inch slabs here. We're probably going to do something with this, and can't wait to see what we make with it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for our further projects and videos that we make.